Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Much better. For all those who does not know me, my name is Trisha Gums, and I'll be your MC for tonight. Tonight we're here at the program of Empowering Women of Saba. And I will start with a small statement. Bob Marley's song said, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Only ourselves can free our minds." Right? It have a lot of power into this sentence. It's not only for women, but also for men. And that's why I'm using it tonight. As women, we are jacks of all trades, just like men can be jacks of all trades. One thing is important is that it's a choice we have as women to be who we want to be. In the past, we have been conditioned by our parents, but today we have the choice. And that is what empowerment is actually about. The choice that we have to choose, the right that we have to do certain things, especially making choices for ourselves. At the end of the day, it starts with our minds.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's have some fun tonight. Let's listen and see how we on Saba can empower each other. So, our keynote guest speaker for tonight is Miss Ramona Berkel.
Ladies of Saba, welcome and thank you for being here tonight. And thank all of those of you who couldn't be here in person but are watching this later. Know that your presence is felt and that this message is for you as well. Tonight it's all about you, and it's about all of us women here on this island. Whether you're sitting in this room, we are sitting here and stepping into our power together. We are not here to wait for things to happen, but to make things happen. Together we are going to confront the issues that we face. Most of all, importantly, the epidemic of domestic violence that hides in the shadows, yet impacts many of our lives. We will address this with strength, courage, and practical solutions. But there are also other issues that affect us as women, and we will address some of those as well. That's the essence of women empowerment, bringing us together to find ways and tackle all the matters that impact our lives as women. I see everyone in this room is focused, and we're waiting for something to happen. But here's the truth, nothing changes until you make the change. You and only you have the power to shape your future. Energy doesn't come for free. Neither does empowerment. You have to work for it. You have to want it. You have to start it right now, here today. It starts simply with you being here or watching this video. Let me start by taking a moment to free our mind. I want each and every one of you to stand up and to move freely, however you feel. Dance, stretch, sway, whatever makes you feel alive.
Get ready to wine. Follow my ding, ding, ding. Nam ya lama de, boko e jana, kapasi e jana, dango e jana, ding, ding, ding. Nam ya lama de, boko e jana, kapasi e jana, dango e jana, tigre e jama, ding, ding, ding. Nam ya lama de, mama ye ye do na, mama ye ye do na, kamosa.
feel? Do you feel the difference now? That shift? That you are taking control of your energy? Now imagine taking control of your life in the same way. If you don't like the job you have, you can change it. If you don't like the relationship you're in, you can leave it. If you feel stuck or afraid, you have the power to break free. I am a firm believer of the law of attraction. What you focus on expands. If you focus on fear, you'll create more fear. But if you focus on possibility, on opportunity, on growth, you'll begin to attract those things to your life. This is why we need to focus on progress. Progress, not perfection, is the key to happiness. It's not about having it all figured out right now. It's about making one step at a time. When you make even the slightest, the smallest bit of progress, you will feel better. And when you feel better, you'll want to do more. That's how real, lasting change happens. Albert Einstein once said, imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. Many life coaches or people with success strive on this. Your imagination is the evidence of things not seen because only you can see it. Your imagination is the universe showing you a preview of what's possible. What you see in your mind is what's possible for your future. I'll try to explain that a little bit better. To be successful, you have to have a lot of drive and faith. Faith without work is dead. So everything we have in this world, somebody imagined it. Imagination is everything. It's how I started believing and imagining to start this women group right here today, someday, but today. Your real life, the one the universe has planned for you, is in your imagination. And the moment you don't believe in your imagination, the moment you deny what the universe has for you. Faith is a substance of things hoped for. You hope something, and then you start believing it. Your imagination is the things not seen, because nobody can see it but you. Our problem is we keep telling our imagination to the wrong people. If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. I can guarantee you it will vanish, it will go away, it's completely destroyed. Because how many times have you had this tremendous idea and something you thought was the one, perfect idea, and you told it to your loved ones, your friends, and they didn't believe in it. You were confident in your idea. But when you shared it with them, they dismissed it. They completely shut it down. You thought your loved ones and your friends had the best interest at heart, and you believed them. But you were wrong. What they did is talk you out of what the universe had for you. The real deal is that you have to understand is that people don't think like you. They don't have the same dreams like you. That is why you have to keep believing in your own imagination. Why am I telling you this? Because if you believe that one day you'll break free from an uncomfortable situation, whether it's quitting your job that drains you, asking for a promotion you know you deserve, pursuing a higher position, or maybe setting up your own art studio, then keep believing. Maybe it's about changing your lifestyle, breaking a bad habit, quit smoking, drinking, traveling to that dream destination, waiting for that big moment in life to arrive, or meeting your dream partner. Whatever your dream may be, hold on to it and don't let anybody take it away from you. Your dream is personal. It's uniquely yours. Others don't share the same vision as you, and that's okay. Keep chasing for what you want. Don't give up until you get what you asked for. Domestic violence on Saba is an issue that hides in plain sight. It hides behind closed doors, behind smiles, behind silence. but it's that silence that keeps the problem alive. It's time to bring the issue out of the shadows. Too many women are suffering in silence, trapped in abusive relationships because they feel they have no other option. Maybe you've heard someone say, there's no domestic violence here on Saba, or it's not that bad. But we know better. It is that bad, and it's happening all around us. I want to start by saying that it's not only women that suffer, but that men too suffer. Because we women can give them a hell of a hard time sometimes. And we need to stop that also and address it. But because tonight is women empowerment, I'm focusing on us. On another occasion, we can focus some more on our men. But now, tonight is about us women. So if you're sitting here today and thinking, I'm one of those women, or I know someone that's going through that, know that you are not alone. There are women in this room who have faced the same struggles and who understand your struggle. We will find a way out. Change begins when we women recognize that we are not powerless. Some of you may think, that sounds easy for her to say, but I'm not here to tell you it's easy. Change is never easy, especially when it comes to something so complex and painful as domestic violence. Many people here know what it feels like to be trapped by fear, by circumstances, or by the belief that there's no way out. Fear is the greatest obstacle to change. It's what stops us from pursuing our dreams, leaving toxic relationships, or stepping into the unknown. Change doesn't require just physical or financial steps. It requires a change in your emotional state. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we're not good enough. We think, we fear, and we say, I'm not smart enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not capable enough, I'm not experienced enough, I'm too old, I'm too young. But those beliefs are holding us back. You are much stronger than you think. You are powerful beyond measure. And every time you push past that fear, you are one step closer to the life you deserve. You have to change your story you tell yourself. What you believe about yourself shapes the actions that you take. If you want a breakthrough, it's about more than just a small change. You have to change your story. The beliefs you've been telling yourself over and over, whether it is, I've tried everything, or all the good ones are gone, or it's all my fault, or I have a lot of stress, or I can't do it, it's too difficult. Those are just a bunch of stories we use to justify staying stuck. And when we're stuck in fear, we create a narrative that we have made up in our mind due to our experiences in the past. What is it that prevents people from doing the things that they truly want in life? The answer at its core is fear. Fear is not just an idea, it's a physical force. You can feel it in your throat, your gut, your toes, your head. You feel it everywhere. It grips you, it paralyzes you. You're anxious. When you're anxious and scared, your body feels tight, your breath becomes shallow, and your mind races. Fear makes everything more complicated. We overthink. I don't know how to do this. Why do I feel this way? Or even, I can't do this. That's what fear does. You start doubting yourself. It stops us from moving forward. We're all afraid that we're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not fast enough. That's human nature. But the secret is to do it anyway. Do anything. Just start the process. Moving forward rather than letting fear stop you. Momentum is the key. Once you take the first step, the next ones become easier. Don't wait for everything to be perfect or for all your fears to disappear before you act. Just begin and you'll find a way, your strength along the way. All of us have goals, things we're after, but if you want new results, whether it's growing your business, starting a new business, supporting your family, raising your teenage children, moving to a new job, overcoming anxiety, or breaking free from a bad relationship, you have to take new actions. You don't get new results by doing the same things over and over and over. What human beings can do is amazing, but what they usually do is disappointing. And that's not because we're incapable, but because we stick to old actions. When we stay in emotional states like anxiety, fear, or failure, it affects our behavior and our outcomes. If you're living in fear, you'll behave differently than if you're living in courage, boldness, and joy. The most important key to changing your life is to change your emotional state. When you change your emotional state, you change your story. And when you change your story, you can find the right strategy. You'll no longer be telling yourself, I can't. Instead, you'll be telling yourself, I will. And that's how true change truly begins. You don't have to change the things you can't control, like the weather. We can't change the weather. No matter how much we complain about it, we can't change it. Today it's too hot. It's too cold, it's too windy. The weather's going to do what it feels like anyway. So no matter how much we complain, you can not control the weather. So don't try to change the things that you can, because that won't work. What you can change is you. And what you can change is your emotional state. This is the power you have inside of you. When everything feels overwhelming, the way to break free is to change your state, your physical and emotional state. Don't just repeat affirmations like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Because your mind, your brain will go out and say, no, you're not. You are not happy. Instead, make a radical change to your physiology. Change how you use your body. Do you know that moving your body can reduce cortisol? That's a stress hormone. And that it can increase confidence hormone, like testosterone. And yeah, we women also have testosterone. You don't want to have too little of it, but you don't want to have too much of it. But when it's in balance as a woman, you feel ready to take action. And fear won't have the power to stop you. Just like how you felt when you started dancing or moving and when we just began this session, remember? And the way you focus also matters. If you are focused on worst case scenarios, like losing a loved one or your business failing or being stuck in a bad relationship, you're going to feel anxious. Your brain will tell you, see, I knew you couldn't do it. And you get stuck in that negative loop. I constantly believe that you have to feed your mind and challenge your body, because the mind and the body, they work together. If you do something physically strong on a regular basis, you begin to develop a new emotional habit. That habit will get you to follow through and do things differently from everybody else. It will push you towards the life you want to live, despite the fear. And you might now ask yourself, what can I do? How do I do this? Whenever you feel overwhelmed by fear or anxiety, take a moment to change your physical state. Stand up, stretch, take deep breaths. Your body and mind are connected. And by changing one, you can change the other. When you breathe deeply, stand tall, and move with purpose, your emotions begin to shift. You are changing your physiology. You become more confident, more bold. This is a simple but powerful way to regain control over your emotions. You will start to believe in yourself again. You change your focus. You ask yourself different questions. Change the state of your body and mind. It has to be radical. When you focus on what you want, life probabilities increase. Even though there are no guarantees, but you shift your focus, you shift your state. And that's where change starts. It's about learning how to use your body and to focus radically. Change how you feel in the moment. You develop new habits that help you feel good all the time. This isn't temporary excitement. It's about training your body and mind, much like an athlete trains to stay fit, to physically fit. You want to be emotionally strong. Hesitation kills momentum. It's momentum that helps you succeed in life. Whether you're overcoming domestic violence, starting a new business, moving to a new country, caring for a sick parent, launching a new career, or even fighting for your life in illness. Condition yourself. Take action. If you don't do that, it becomes hard. You become confused. You lose momentum. I remember a time when I faced a difficult decision that scared me deeply. I had an opportunity to move abroad and study, but I was in a relationship that it held me back somewhat. It wasn't an abusive relationship, but it was one that I wasn't growing. I was young, I wanted a career, and my partner wanted to have kids and settle down, and I was afraid to leave, not wanting to hurt his feelings. It was my father who said the words I needed to hear. He said, if something isn't good for you, throw it away. And those words were hard to hear, but they were true. Because sometimes we hold on to things out of fear. Fearing change, fearing loneliness, fearing failure. But in reality, it's holding on that's stopping us from reaching our full potential. So I took his advice, I ended the relationship, took the leap, and I left my home country, the Netherlands. At age, I was just 17, going on to 18, and I went to study in America, in New York. And everyone told me it's impossible, it was impossible, that there were all kinds of reasons why I couldn't do it. They said there were no scholarships for my major, that it would be too difficult to do it on my own, just that I should give up. But here's the thing, I didn't give up. Because it was my dream. And I knew it was possible. And I knew I had to do it. So I moved to America, I studied, and I made it happen. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to let go of what's holding you back and take the leap into the unknown. Again, why am I telling you this? Fear will always be there. But don't let it stop you. Challenge yourself, push through the fear. And I promise you that life will meet you on the other side with opportunities you would never have imagined. Whether it's leaving a toxic relationship, pursuing that business you've always dreamed of, or making that life-changing decision you've been avoiding, you can do it. Now, some of you may say, but it's not that simple for everyone. You're right, it's not. But here's the thing. Just because something's difficult, it doesn't mean that it's impossible. The moment you start telling yourself it's too hard, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Instead, tell yourself, I can do this. Because you can. You've survived every challenge that life has thrown at you up till now. And you'll survive this one too. Momentum takes a lot of energy at start. Like beginning a new relationship or even ending a bad relationship or making life big changes. But once you get going, it becomes easier. We all want certainty in our lives. The comfort of knowing what will happen so that we can avoid pain. But also we need variety, the thrill of not knowing exactly what's next. Sometimes we seek comfort in negative ways, smoking, overeating, or other harmful habits. But the balance between certainty and uncertainty is what makes life exhilarating. People seek significance in different ways. Some try to lift themselves up by tearing others down. thinking it makes them superior, smarter, stronger, better. But that never lasts. In the end, we're all just human, made of the same blood, flesh, and water. What truly works is love. If you care for someone, you become the most significant person in their life. If you're always trying to prove yourself, you will push people away. It's not about making yourself important. It's about understanding and honoring what's significant to someone else. True happiness comes from progress. When you're making progress in your relationship, career, personal growth, you feel good. Huh? But once you achieve that goal, that feeling doesn't last long. It's because we were not meant to celebrate success forever. You know, we need to grow to feel alive. Growth is the key to lasting happiness. And giving back makes that happiness expand. When something great happens to you, whether it's learning something new or having a beautiful experience, the first thing you want to do is share it with someone you love. Happiness is about sharing, expanding the good things in life. Let me share one more other personal secret with you today. Something that has shaped me, who I am, and how I approach life. I usually carry a sense of happiness with me. And when I go to work, it sometimes annoyed my colleagues. They will say, "But why are you always so happy?" And my answer is simple. I always make sure that I do the things that I truly love to do or like to do. If a job no longer aligns with my purpose, no matter how much money I'm making, how friendly my coworkers are, how pleasant my job environment feels, I start planning my exit. I don't want to wait for things to become unbearable. I begin to visualize a new path, focusing on where I want to be. I visualize it. And it's not an impulsive decision, but one made with intention. I allow myself the space and time to prepare for the transition. And then I make it happen. For me, it's about finding something that makes me even happier. Something that sparks joy and purpose in my life. I see life as a series of doors. One door closes, and sometimes others open unexpectedly, sometimes in ways we cannot predict. Yes, it's a risk, and yes, it's challenging, but I could never live with the regret of wondering, what if I had taken the leap? So I take the leap. Anyone who knows me will tell you that this is who I am. I don't stay where I feel out of place. I don't let negativity anchor me down. I always choose to leave situations that don't serve my purpose and seek environments that align with who I am. For me, it's the simplest way of protecting my peace, my happiness, and my drive to keep moving forward. It's my natural response to remove myself from anything that feels like danger and return to a state of calm and fulfillment. Some of my friends doubt this mindset, while others think it's courageous. And they ask, but what if things go wrong? I understand their fear, but I don't let it rule me. Instead, I choose to focus on what could go right. Because what did we just learn about the law of attraction? If you constantly think of failure, you might just attract it. But if you envision success, you set yourself on a path towards achieving it. When people ask me, how is it that you think so positively? I respond to them and I say, because I'm positively fearless. Of course, I'm not immune to fear. I get scared too, just like anyone else. But I've learned something powerful. Fear doesn't have to control you. Fear can make us shrink, doubt ourselves, and get stuck. But what if instead of letting fear dictate your choices, you turned it into courage? That's the secret I've discovered. By shifting your mindset, you can break free from any situation that doesn't serve you. It's not just leaving a job or ending a relationship. It's about changing your entire approach to life. And when you do, you become unstoppable. That's what women empowerment is all about, empowering yourself, ourselves, to break free from fear, negativity, and limitations, and stepping boldly into a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Let this be a reminder. Fearlessness isn't about never being afraid, because we all are afraid sometimes. It's about choosing to move forward despite it. You have the power to change your state. And once you do, nothing can hold you back. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with a woman, and her words, they literally broke my heart. But she told me she would rather be beaten by her husband than to have him cheat on her. I want you to pause for a moment and let that sink in. This woman, she was willing to endure physical violence as long as she believed that her partner was faithful. Well, this kind of reasoning is abnormal. No one should ever feel that abuse in any form, physical, emotional, verbal, is an acceptable price to pay for love or loyalty. Love does not hurt. Abuse is not love. No one deserves to be beaten, nor man nor woman. No one should have the choice between being abused or being cheated on. And the very fact that this woman believed that she had to make such a choice tells us that somewhere along the way society has failed on her. We have failed her. Let's talk about this kind of thinking. It's not only wrong, but also dangerous. When we accept abuse, we are saying we are not worthy of love, respect, and safety. We are saying to our bodies, don't matter, that our dignity doesn't matter, and that it's okay for someone to hurt you as long as they stay. This mindset is a trap. And it's a trap that too many women fall into. Mistreatment is never acceptable, not in any form. Whether it's in a relationship, at work, from an employer who bullies you, or a coworker who misuses their authority. It could be teachers clinging out to outdated methods that fail our children, or even our own children taking financial advantage of us, of you, because they're struggling to make ends meet. Abuse is not a price you pay for love. Abuse is about power and control, and it's designed to strip you out of your self-esteem, your independence, and your sense of worth. When someone abuses you, they are telling you that your needs, your safety, and your feelings don't matter. There are many women who may feel trapped in abusive relationships, or you may know a woman that's going through it right now. And it's true that it's not easy to leave sometimes. I know that sometimes the fear of feeling alone, feelings of guilt, or the financial strain makes staying seem like the only option. But staying in an abusive relationship only allows the cycle to continue. Abuse feeds on silence. It thrives on secrecy, in quiet moments when you tell yourself, maybe it will get better, or this is just the way things are. Misuse is not acceptable, not for the sake of loyalty, not for the sake of keeping the family together, and certainly not for the sake of avoiding being cheated on. If a man cheats on you, that's on him. It has nothing to do with your value as a woman. But if a man beats you, it's not just on him. It's a sign that he does not deserve to be in your life. You deserve better, and you need to believe that. The young woman who told me that she would rather be beaten than cheated on was speaking from a place of deep hurt and trauma. But her story is not unique. Too many women have been conditioned to believe that suffering in silence is a part of love, that pain is a necessary part of a relationship. I'm here to tell you it's not. You can stand up for yourself. You can say no more. You must protect your self-esteem. And in doing so, you can protect your future. Every time you stand up against abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, verbal, you are saying to the world, I matter. Believe that you matter. And the first step to real change is understanding that you are worth fighting for. No woman should ever feel that abuse is an acceptable price to pay for love. You have the strength to walk away. And even if you don't feel strong enough now, know that there are people who will support you. You are not alone. One of the most important things I would like you to remember is the importance of protecting your self-esteem. When you allow someone to abuse you, you are slowly letting go of the belief that you are valuable. And I want you to start believing that you are valuable. You deserve love that builds you up, not tears you down. You deserve a relationship where you feel safe, respected, and cherished. It's not enough just to know this in your mind. You have to believe it in your heart. You have to believe that you are worth more than the hurtful words, more than a raised hand, more than the bruises that you may not even be visible. Protecting your self-esteem is not just about defending yourself physically. It's about setting boundaries and saying, I deserve better. You must know that your self-worth is non-negotiable. You don't have to earn it by being a good wife, or by sacrificing your needs, or by staying in a relationship where you are mistreated. Your self-worth is something inherent. It's something you were born with. And no one has the right to take that away from you. On my final topic, I want to touch on another issue that affects us all. And whether we realize it or not, it's the gender data gap. In her book, Invisible Women, Carolina Carriado Perez reveals something that we rarely talk about. A world designed by and for men. This book exposes the harmful gaps in data collection that lead to male-biased policies resulting in governments and systems that often overlook the needs of women. And this is the same situation for us here in Saba, for us women here in Saba. This isn't just about a lack of data, it's about the dominance of men in government leadership positions. Although we might not immediately associate male-dominated governments with a data problem, the evidence that female perspectives show that they are essential. In an analysis of 19 OECD countries, that's the Organization for Economic Development and Cooperation, it's a forum of 37 democracies with market-based economic collaborate to develop policy standards to promote sustainable economic growth. The study found that female politicians are more likely to address issues that directly impact women. And why? Because women in power have experience in effect of the effects of gender inequality firsthand. Yet, despite this, many women, also here in Saba, have grown up believing the myth that women are somehow less capable of leadership. We are continued by the media and culture to see men as the standard for power, influence, and ambition. And when women step into these roles, they are often seen as too aggressive, unlikable. Think about women in high positions like Kamala Harris. She faces bullying and criticism all the time simply for doing her job. This is a reflection of deep societal biases that expect women to be nurturing and agreeable, even when they are in positions of leadership. Our democracy, as it stands, is not a level playing field. Male and female politicians bring different perspectives to the table. But too often, male-dominated governments fail to account for the experiences and needs of women. The result is policies that do not adequately serve half of the population. And I stress, although Saba is small with just approximately 2,000 inhabitants, these results also include Saba. But despite the challenges we've pushed through, Women continue to fight for their place in government, in business, in education, and in society. But the system remains unequal, and it's up to us to change that. If we want fair governments and societies, we must actively include to listen to women's voices. And that is why we are here today, to not only address these issues, but to find ways to tackle them together. We will work side by side to build policies and a society that truly works for everyone, not only just for men. Let's stop just a minute and talk about the role of financial independence in empowerment. Too many women often stay in bad relationships, whether it's staying at a job they dislike or staying in a relationship because they feel financially trapped. It's time to change that. October will be the first month of our monthly sessions, this Women's Empowerment Group. We'll be focusing on women in finance, and we'll talk about how to manage money, save, invest, and create wealth. By becoming financially empowered, you'll no longer feel dependent on someone else to meet your needs. Imagine what it would feel like to know that you can provide for yourself, that you don't need anyone's permission to buy food, pay bills, or to live the life you want. That kind of independence is life-changing. And it's something every woman here in this room or you outside watching can achieve. Now let's talk about why we are here today, really, to start a movement. This group is not just a collection of women. We are a force for change. We will tackle the issues that matter to us, and we will do it together. Over the next year, we will cover topics like women in politics, entrepreneurship, poverty, racism, relationships, much more. But we won't just talk, we'll take action. Together we will create solutions. We will begin, like I said, next month with Women in Finance Conference. That will be 25, 26, and 28 October, so you can mark those dates in your agenda. Because financial independence is the cornerstone of empowerment. In November, we move to Awareness Month, and with each passing month, we'll build upon the last, growing stronger, more focused, and more united in our mission. This group will grow, mark my words. What began as a vision will become a force to be reckoned with. When I visualize, I don't just see, I expect, I anticipate, I work relentlessly towards my goal, and I create. And what do I create? Results. I've done it before and I will do it again. This is willpower, pure and simple. I envision this group, women, rising and flourishing. Even if we start with just 2 women, we will become a self-sufficient, empowered network of women in Saba, one that not only be heard, but also be felt. The universe is ready to give you what you want, but you must be bold enough to ask for it. You must believe with every fiber of your being that you deserve it. So tonight, as you leave here, ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I need to progress? And what am I willing to work for? Remember always, you have not because you ask not. If you want something, demand it. If you believe something, fight for it. If you dream of something, make it a reality. Because as we close tonight, I want to etch this in your heart. The best things in life are on the other side of fear. Keep repeating it to yourself until it's no longer a distant hope, but a truth you live by. And very soon, you'll not only see it, you'll feel it, you'll understand it. And I promise you, change will come to you in many ways you can't even imagine. It will come naturally, it will come powerfully, and it will come because you decided it will. We are here today not just to listen, but to act. Together we will face our fears, we will make the changes we need to make, and we will power one another every step of the way. We will end tonight just like we started, with energy, with purpose, with belief. Together we rise, and together we will make a difference. This is the end of my story, but together we rise, and together we go forward. Thank you, ladies of Saba. Let's go out there and make our dreams a reality.